Welcome back to part 5. Now I've got the powered up melancholy soul. My health will keep draining, I think. And I gotta fight a shadow. Luckily I already had E and I equipped. Oh, then I guess this isn't the thing that goes with that sun picture in the room, eh? There we go. Where was this fluidity when I was fighting Nello? Also, when they do that little stab, I'm pretty sure you can jump on top of it. And, like, go on to attack the main body. Which really makes me think of, Dark Link from Ocarina of Time. Well, that's another thing. One of the things I intend to do a video on in my Pizza Time series is that I feel like these games were possibly, I don't know, this might be hyperbole to say because, you know, I haven't played every game from the 90s and early 2000s, but I feel like Devil May Cry, this one specifically, was the first major step up for like 3D action since Ocarina of Time in bringing in the lock-on mechanic. Because interestingly enough, there's something I'd like to bring up. I've said many times that I believe Capcom to be the most influential developer in the industry apart from Nintendo. Well, there's something I completely forgot. Oh no, this is how you power it back up, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, well, Zelda has always been, you know, a first-party Nintendo title, except for the, Philips games, which we don't talk about those. Funny that my first encounter with the scythe instead of the scissors gets no fanfare. Also, you're not stuck in an enclosed area to fight it, though I'm really not liking having to fight it here over such a tiny platform. But, yeah, so Zelda has always been, like, first-party Nintendo, right? Well, only one company has ever made an official third-party, Zelda game. And that's Capcom. Not only did they do it, they did 2 conjoined games, which are arguably the most ambitious of the Zelda spin-offs. Well, spin-offs is what I call, like, the, portables. Holy shit, that was a short mission. No wonder it put me up against a scythe. Well, I guess we'll continue straight into the next level, then. Yay, I got an S rank! But yeah, the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons were made by Capcom, as was the Minish Cap. And Keiji Inafune, creator of Mega Man, well, I don't know if he was the creator, no, I don't think he actually created him, but you know, he was seen as the driving force behind Mega Man for so long. See, look at that, there it is. Oh no, that's because it's a death scissors, okay, but he was a big fan of Zelda, and reportedly the entire concept behind Mega Man Legends was intended to be sort of a Zelda-esque game, and that game predates Ocarina of Time, which is why it's so clunky, because Ocarina really revolutionized things with its lock-on, right? And Legends 2 introduced that as well, but I've only ever played it on an emulator, unfortunately. And again, why the fuck have I never bought the digital version on PS3? I always forget that's a thing. But anyway, yeah, so Inafune had made those as kind of a Nintendo tribute, right? As a Zelda tribute, I meant. And then Inafune served as a producer or possibly the director for Minish Cap. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look that up again. But yeah, arguably 3 of the best Zelda games ever made, well, 3 of the best 2D Zelda games were done by Capcom. And there would have been 4 if they had gone with the full tetralogy, You couldn't even really call it a trilogy, because would you call it a trilogy if they had made a third Oracle game? They're not like sequential. Oh, let's go with trilogy. But yeah, like Devil May Cry to me feels like the first real step forward for the 3D medium since Ocarina of Time. For fuck's sake. Damn it! I did not want those! There's gonna be a level coming soon where my health is constantly draining. I know that for a fact. Was Devil May Cry 4 the only one that didn't do that? Well, it did, but it did it because you were being poisoned. But the other games do it because you're got some item stuck on you that's pulling some crazy shit. Or maybe this game did it with poison too, I don't remember. 4 did love its Devil May Cry 1 throwbacks, which work on a design level, as a lot of the enemies in this game are simpler, and therefore they work better with Nero's simpler combat style, right? But I'll save that discussion for another time, and other YouTubers have already covered that in depth. If you'd be interested in looking it up, I'll have to go and see while I'm editing if I can remember where I first saw that idea brought up, and I'll put a link to the video that brought it up for anyone interested, because, you know, there are a lot of people who spent a long time talking about these games. But these flies here are where one of the few enemies in the game where I think that the Resident Evil DNA still came through in the enemy design. Because I was looking through the concept art earlier, because the HD collection has that stuff. And what I found was, you know, I've looked through it briefly before, but never really taken the time to examine it. A lot of the concept art for Devil May Cry 1, yeah, you can tell this was meant to be a Resident Evil game. The enemy designs, the layouts, the heavy use of like mutated eyes. It really does feel like it was meant to be Resident Evil. And a part of me really wishes somehow, in some universe, this Resident Evil 4 had happened. Just because I would love to have seen what they had in mind for that game's plot. Because Oswell, I don't know if that was meant to be his name back then, I don't know when his full name was officially revealed. Oswell E. Spencer was meant to be the main villain of Resident Evil 4. And unless I'm mistaken, he only actually shows up in Resident Evil 5 for that little prequel moment showing what happened to Jill, and then in the Lost in Nightmares DLC, which expands on it. I don't even know if Spencer himself actually shows up there, because I didn't finish that. But Spencer is much different design there. He's an old man kept alive on life support, whereas the Spencer we see in the concept arts for Devil May Cry, he looks very powerful, very broad. Like, when you contrast his appearance in those concepts to Dante's, Spencer looks much bigger than Dante. Fuck's sake, all those are there because I'm gonna need them when my health is draining. Yep. Here we go. You know, I bet if they could have back then, they would have actually had it, like, take on that skull on the wall. Like, the skull would move and become part of it. Or maybe they just chose not to. I don't know, I think that would have been kind of cool. But another thing I like, where I was saying with the Ocarina vibes, where you can jump on enemies' attacks and stuff, I'm almost certain if you time it right, you can jump on their scissors. Fuck you. And the way that this is confined and you got things spinning at you that you've got no choice but to dodge, you might just be able to parry them. I highly doubt it though, just because of the age of the game. But it's very reminiscent of what do you call it, the Hunter Demon in DMC, which I've said my piece on that in my DMC retrospective series, that I feel like he was meant to be a throwback to this type of enemies, at least in part. I believe you can one-shot these guys with a properly timed hit on the skull. Fuck off and die already. There we go. Because I have killed them in what I would assume to be one shot before, just by doing that at the perfect time. And it wasn't even like something I did intentionally. Yeah, see, here we go. This is what I was talking about. An item in your possession that drains your health. But we'll get to that next time. Thanks for watching. This was part 5. And since it was a short one, I did 2 episodes in one. And that's the format I'm going to keep to. If an episode is short enough, if a level is short enough, I'm just going to make it into 2. So again, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. And this time I remembered to show the ranking. I got a D on Nello's mission, by the way. I realized after I cut off the recording that I hadn't clicked to have my rank show up. So yeah, but thanks for watching, and see ya.